Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. What do we have here? We have here another piece of evidence to show us that the Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni is a club member. Remember when she was about to be appointed prime minister because her party won, therefore they put her prime minister. When she was appointed, voted, however you want to call it, as the prime minister of Italy, how the mass media was talking about her. They were telling her that she's a neo-fascist, she's a supporter of Il Duce, and so on. When because they were afraid she's going to do what she said in the campaign she will do, and she will promote the ideas that she fooled her fellow Italians to vote for her, family and all that, immigration, independence, we are Italia. And little by little, being in about 2 weeks, she showed, after she was appointed as the prime minister, she showed who she really is and her government. I made a lot of videos on her, and they're not very, I think they reflect reality. Obviously, I would not make them just to screw around. For instance, this one right here on August 18th, 2023, Italy Prime Minister Meloni, a failure or a Brutus slash Judas? Illegal immigration, Italy Meloni is part of the US Plantation, got full membership. And right here in the bottom, Italy Prime Minister Meloni is weak. What a letdown. She'll reconstruct Ukraine. She'll reconstruct. So the article that I will discuss today has to do with the same pledge that should have nothing to do with reality or with her pledge to defend Italy or be the Italian prime minister. She is the Plantation's prime minister, which is Al Capone's servant. I was nice. See? Not that I have to, but YouTube makes you censor yourself, because that's how it is in the freest country on this planet, with the freedom of speech carved in the constitution. Garbage. Here, Ukrainska Pravda. Italian prime minister supports military aid to Ukraine. And this is her idiotic plantation argument. Without it, war will be closer to us. Really? Why? Will the Russians attack you, Meloni? I was about to say something ugly, but I like your ring, though. Is that emerald over there or something? One of them? Anyway, so here you have it. Without it, war will be closer to us. Not true? I totally disagree with that. Convince me. Do you have a Russian minority living in Italy? Do you have any Russian territories? Do you mistreat the Russian minority living in your country? If the answer is no to all three, I guarantee you 100% the Russians will not come to you. I guarantee you that. Anyway, this is the garbage. And I gave you just the 3 reasons why, and they're all linked to one thing. Don't abuse the Russians. Again, without it, war will be closer to us. That's exactly what the other European weasels tell us about Russia. I disagree with that scenario. Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister of Italy. Now, I didn't read this article, but I guarantee you that there's not going to be any far-right fascist supporter, Il Duce Mussolini lover, or anything like that mentioned. Why? Because she says the right thing. If she wouldn't say that, she said, well, I don't think we should support Ukraine aid. She's going to be called this and this and this, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is good press. It's like with dogs and with horses. You give a little sugar or whatever, a positive reinforcement. You did good, you did bad, you're an asshole. Let's look over this article. Giorgia Meloni, Prime Minister of Italy. Before, used to be like right-winger, extremist, crazy, LGBT, papi, boo, boo, boo. Nothing. She's just an accepted prime minister, recognized and legitimate, believes that further assistance to Ukraine with weapons is necessary in order to ensure parity on the battlefield with Russia. Otherwise, the war threatens to spread closer to our country. They would not, hey, Meloni, smack. Maybe like, hey, Meloni, this war that you say that is coming closer to you could have been avoided with 2 Minsk agreements, with 3 countries being the guarantors of the Minsk agreements: Poland, France, and Germany. So Deutschland, France, and Poland, Polska, Polska. Anyway, these 3 said, "Oh, we're going to guarantee you that Zelensky, that Ukraine will fulfill that." Zelensky said, "I want to be elected, you Ukrainians, and I'm going to bring peace." What's the list? Oh, Al Capone, I will do all this, thank you. Doesn't coincide with what I'm supposed to tell to these guys. Doesn't matter. What are they going to do? Nothing. Why? Because I will institute martial law. You're going to do what? Not even that. So let's see. Source: Meloni at the first press conference on Thursday, 4th of January, which was broadcast on ANSA. Reports, okay, the head of the Italian government, holy moly, rejected. So she's the head of the Italian government, man. The assertion that they should not send weapons to Ukraine, as this would lead to an escalation of the conflict. I think the opposite is true. That's why now they call you the head of the government. The only chance for Ukraine to sit at any table, to reach any diplomatic solution, any negotiating table, is to maintain balance between forces on the ground, she explained. And I'm quoting, if we did what those who say we shouldn't support Ukraine suggest, we should not have peace. We would not have peace. We would have an invasion, which means a war closer to home, Meloni said. Got that? So did you see any bad press for her in all this? Meloni. She doesn't look like that anymore. She looks fatter. It's reality, like me, I'm fatter. A lot of sarmale, what do you expect? Sarmale wine, or sarmale being cabbage rolls. Anyway, my favorite food. Don't poison me now. Now you know what I'm gonna eat. Hey, Emily, want some sarmale? Ooh. Oh, and then Norvicek will get me. No, Norvicek, because if it's Norvicek, I will survive. If it's gonna be the Russian, I will survive. Maybe send Mossad. Done deal. You don't have to send a drone. Oh, man. All right, Meloni. So this, I think, again, shows one hand washes the other hand. So Meloni is nice. She receives, she's the prime minister. Yeah. Garbage, my friends, garbage. What would she say? Should she, I don't know. What would she rather say? What I expected, according to her position, she said, you know what? That's not our war. Those guys should be negotiating before more hundreds of thousands of people, innocent civilians, and military personnel are destroyed. We should stop right now. Stop these idiots and let's move on. That's how she should have said. Or say, you know what? I don't give a fuck. It's your garbage. The Russians will not come to us. Why? What are they going to do? Take over? Why? So we can hate them? Imagine, this is another garbage. Imagine you take over a territory and you incorporate it in territory in your country, and all those, 60 million people that will hate your guts. How can you, my friend, this is such a medieval mentality. These guys are going to take over. Do you think the Russians are going to conquer Ukraine? They will tame NATO in Ukraine. That's what's going to happen. Emily, you use euphemisms. How would you call it, rather? Who's fighting who? Do you think the Ukrainians are fighting Russia? Yeah, they're fighting for those guys. Those guys are fighting Russia with Ukraine. I gave you this analogy many times. It's like a circus trainer that has a tiger and a lion, or tigers and lions. Have you ever been to circus and see them? He's using 2 objects, sometimes 3, but anyway, his balls. So one is a long whip and a long pole. This is the European Union in other garbage. This is NATO fighting Russia with the Ukrainian long pole and the whip. And the tiger grabs sometimes the whip, is going to destroy it, but the guy is going to get another whip, which is going to be Romania, or it's going to be Poland or the Baltic states. Then the tiger rarely, in his craziness and anger, attacks the idiot because he's focused on this one. He doesn't reach. That's why they're so happy. We're going to impose sanctions on us, supposedly on you. We're going to provide weapons, and we're going to use your men to fight for us. And when these guys are going to disappear, they're going to try to pick something else, and they will pick something else. There's plenty of vassal people promoted in position of power in Europe. Close your eyes, get a map, and pick. You should avoid one country, Hungary. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Because Hungary is not one of those countries. Hungary is independent, sovereign, and has balls, and looks for its national interest. National interest. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Meloni is gone.